What's going on, my roadies? My name is Dustin, and today is a new day in Dyson Sphere Program. Last time, if you missed it, we basically went through and removed the majority of the planetary threat. That doesn't mean that they can't send more bases or anything. It just means that for now, things have calmed down, let me say. Also, I do apologize if I sound a bit more like congested. My nose is a little stuffy today, so. With that out of the way, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look around and see what we can do. So, this might be a long time for me. So, in-game, we've been at this for about 3.5 hours. I'm probably going to convert a majority of my base to just being foundations because I want to get a ton of foundation work going here. The other thing is that I do also want in this video to get to red science, wherever that is, right here. So we're going to continue doing research stuff. We are going to need oil for this as well. So there's going to be a lot of progress done today. I want to start getting toward making red science because we're starting to get to that point. We just need red science to unlock a lot of the stuff that we're going to be using in today's episode. I don't plan on having to fight anymore, like more missiles and that sort of stuff, but I don't know. We'll see how active the Hive wants to be, if they actually want to send, you know, another base on my planet or something like that. If they do, then, well, we'll have to take care of it. But I'm hoping that we don't have to, at least for the foreseeable now. All right, queued up literally everything I can for blue science. Now what we're going to do is we're going to convert a large majority of this base into foundation production. So allow me to show you how foundations work. They consume soil. As you can see, we have 1.5 million soil. You get soil from just like placing down structures and buildings and stuff on top of, well, ground. So for instance, when you do this, you see we got 106, 400 there. So when you place structures and stuff, it can also give you soil. That's like a good way to get it. Killing monsters, as I found out, or like the AI, you can also do that. And then if you place soil sometimes on areas that are a bit hilly, you can actually gain soil back. So those are a few ways that you can do that. So we have plenty of steel. That's not the issue. The issue is going to be the stone production. Let me remove that for now. And then let's set this up. So, going to need a lot more of these. This will be 4. I need more thingies. The grabber thingies. These things. So, let's just go ahead and create some more of these. I do apologize, too, if you're watching this series and you're, like, trying to learn a lot more about, like, the ins and outs of how everything is being built and that sort of stuff. I'm not really going over a lot of that. I'm just kind of, you know, playing and doing my own thing. Man, I really want to get up to here, though, because that would be nice. How do... Ah, yeah, we can't... Well, we could technically. I might set up something to get hydrogen set up, because it's just like basic oil stuff. But, yeah. How much is this? 3, that's 7. We'll do 6. Let's remove one of these sorters. These belts transfer items at a rate of about 6 items per second, I think it is. Yeah, 6 a second. So with 6 machines, this should hopefully be enough. So we'll get that. Actually, let's move this over here, and then we want to put this like so, and then once everything gets built, I forgot I have all these like drone places, so it does build things a lot faster, but it's also kind of more annoying because it doesn't look like my robot Icarus does anything. It's just like, oh yeah, there's stuff happening. All right. Actually, I might need... I think 2 will be fine. Okay. Maybe. I might do a 3rd one just to see, and then cut it down if I need to. So that's kind of what today's goal is just to get a ton of these foundations, get everything set up more properly, get a better look at all the various veins and resources that we have around in the world. Like, there's 2 iron over here, there's a stone, coal, oil, there's an iron over here, more stone, coal, a lot of oil around this area. This is also near one of the 2 planetary bases, the other one's right down there. So like this could be a nice oil area on the other side of the world. Looking around a bit further, there's a ton of coal up here. It's a matter of taking the resources where we have them and trying to utilize them a bit better. We still have 12 million iron on the entire planet, 7 million copper. If I keep zooming out, this is a gas giant. This has hydrogen and deuterium. We're not too concerned about that just yet. We're still a ways off before we can even mine that stuff. This planet has a ton of copper, titanium, stone. Has a decent amount of iron, nothing too crazy. Coal is also really low on that planet. And then this one way over here has literally a ton of stone. It also has silicon. And that'll be useful when we get to like purple cubes. But it looks like they are very well acquainted with those 2 planets too. But we're not worried about that just yet. So give me about 30 minutes or so, and hopefully we'll have a lot more foundations. I need to fix some of these issues, so I will be back in a second for you guys. For me, who knows? All right, so a little bit of time has passed. Been running around just kind of doing things, improving the factory a little bit. I say a little bit of time, it's been about like 15 or so minutes, but I'm at a point where I need crude oil. Now, I'm not going to build anything permanent. Haha, every time I say that, I feel like one of these days it will be permanent. But basically what I want to do is I want to create a tiny area over here for the harvesting and production of hydrogen, because I need quite a bit of stuff for this. So we'll do something like this. You become this. This will harvest, and then we need to just put into this machine, get this cooking, and then this needs 2 exports, which we can filter. And it will filter kind of like this. I want fuel on this one, and then I want hydrogen on that one. And all I'm going to do for the time being, because I don't need too much for this, is I'm just going to store pretty much them both. If it will let me do it like this. Yes, it will. Nice. First time you use storage tank to store hydrogen. Yep. Yes, it is. Nice. So basically what I need, why I've been trying to go for this, is I want to get the second level of logistics, which is the green belt. This moves 12 items a second. The reason for this, I need like 200 hydrogen, so I'll just leave that going for a bit, is if we go back, wow, they're right next to each other. That's actually pretty crazy. If we go back over to our main base, I know I could just use the map and show you guys, but, you know, trying to get this, I don't know, I'm just trying to get used to recording again, because it's been a while. Over here, this area in particular, there's all these stone being made. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone for like 6 of these. In theory, this requires 3 stone a piece, so I really should be having like multiple of these, but like this one is just full. Because there's 7 of them, it just can't offload its goods. And this belt only moves 6 items a second, meaning that 6 of these is enough for the entire belt. Well, if I wanted to add more, for instance, I can't, because, well, the belt is the bottleneck. So by doing that research, the high efficiency logistics, I need mag levitation as well. And both of these, if I can find out where mag is, there it is, they require red science. So I need at least 200 cubes in order to do this. All just to make a little bit more foundations. But at the very least, we can sort of get started with this. So for starters, how do I want my base layout? I want my base layout to kind of go with the, is this longitude? And this is latitude, I think. I want it to go with the equator. I also need to find out where the equator line is at. It looks like it's this line right here, because it's slightly thicker and slightly more green. So this is the equator. I have something very special for this. So we're going to leave like 2 or so squares away and actually build on this area. There's a nice-ish open area over here and then some other veins and stuff. Let me find a land first next to this thing so I can retop off. If I take a look, there's a nice big open area over here. There's a lot of water I don't really want to cover because it requires a lot of soil. I don't really have like an infinite supply. Technically, it's ocean, but this is a nice big area. I mean, ideally, other side of the planet, like this area, this would be great for a factory, but then we have to like belt everything over. I guess it has its pros and cons, right? Like this is very convenient to a lot of the ores and stuff for the veins that we're mining from, but there's not that much area, and it kind of would contradict a little bit of my plans of the equator. It's this line again. Okay. Just to kind of mark it, just so I know for future. That's the equator line. And then I'll also put a couple of these along it. You might know what I'm trying to do here if you watched the last couple episodes. And if you didn't, go back and watch the explosive start, because that was close. We nearly lost multiple times. Well, the first one was the big one, but you know. But yeah, I basically want to protect myself against any future invasions. So the equator will be used for that. So if we go like 2 full grids down from that, somewhere around here. And then it doesn't need to be perfect because, let's be honest, majority of the planet might be covered in this stuff at some point. This is a decent chunk of room for us to work with. So in my other playthrough, oh, it actually did save the blueprints. I have these things that I dubbed smelting arrays, and basically they are exactly what they sound like. They are just an array for smelting. So over here, for instance, I need to actually downgrade some of these things. If I hit U, downgrade, that way everything's on Mach 1. This was what I used for copper, but I also use it for anything. So you can just, you know, go through here, change this out to, let's say, iron or something like that, and then just copy and then, you know, just paste them all the way across. Something like this. So that way you can, you know, change all your recipes and whatnot. I'm missing a lot of belts. Yep. Let's go ahead and make some more of these. We need more iron plates. We go make a ton more of this stuff because we're going to start getting into, instead of like starter factory stuff like you see here, I know this is crazy to call it starter, but it is. We're going to start getting into more of the nuanced, like mega factories that will be on our planet. And here's hoping that we don't get absolutely annihilated when the next alien or AI threat happens. I keep wanting to call them aliens. They're sentient beings is what they are. A true singularity, post-apocalyptic thing going on. I'm going to put some of these in here and have you guys just start working, please. Thank you. Also, I do have some sorters, but I'm going to need a lot more. I need more iron for that. Alright, well. Here, you guys build that, please. Let's head over here. Let's grab some more iron. I can build like, I don't know, 300. Yeah, nice. So, the green belts, the extra or the upgraded belts are going to be very helpful too, because basically how this is going to work is the yellow belts can only fund 6 machines. This is 10 long and it will be its own line. So if I get it up to the green belts, that's all I would need, and it would actually fund 12 machines, but we're only going to be doing in groups of 10. If I wanted to, I could do that, you know, just get a lot more. Eventually, blue belts, which is the tier 3 belts, they can actually move 30 items. So you can actually have 30 machines for a full belt, which is actually incredible. Although at the moment, I'm not too concerned with that yet. We'll see how things go, though. No, I need that. Burn those energy shards. So now what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get some of these arrays going. So we'll put some iron over here. Let's see, how many more of these? Hold on, can I change the name of this one? How do you modify? I can change it here. Copper, and then I want to change this to copper. Oops. Save changes. And then I want to copy this. So click, click, and this will be as iron smelting array. And there are other ones that I could use too, but I'm not too concerned about it. Go ahead, use now. Can I? Control V. Ah, I see. So we'll do another iron. We're gonna, if it ever collides with something, you have to hold down shift and hit enter to like confirm that's what you want to place. In my case, the energy poles were like colliding with each other, so. This will be 160 like sorter thingies, so that's not too bad. And then I kind of want to put copper above it somewhere. I don't know, there's a copper vein conveniently right there. Let's take a look at the map. So iron I want over here. A large portion of my factory, I don't know where I'm going to put it. Maybe like in this area? And then where would I put copper? Like iron 4, surely 40 smelters should be okay, right? Hopefully. And then copper. Maybe I should do copper up here somewhere. Maybe like in this area? They all come down here, and then I can also make like magnets like in this area and then send all the resources off this way, down and around. It's not a bad idea. I just don't really have much in the way of ideas at the moment, so inspiration hasn't kicked in yet. Okay, so I need iron and I need stone, of which I'm not storing stone. Well, I guess in this one I am. Let's get 4. Let's get some more iron. I'm gonna need a lot more. I need more stone. Actually, let's try to steal from the line. It's fine. I don't need that many foundations right now, right? Some more of these. Actually, there's some right here. Alright, that should be good for those. Looks like I'm gonna need another power line, which I'm gonna need more iron for. Hang on. Some more of these while I'm here. And then how many of these can I make? Not enough. Alright. I will see you guys in a minute when most of this stuff gets done. I'm going to set up this area, I'm going to set up a copper area, and then maybe like a small little magnet area, like maybe 2 rows, enough for like 40 smelters. We can use this coal vein here. We have a coal vein over there. And, yeah, we'll see. I'll be back momentarily. All right, so the word of the day is temporary. Here's my temporary red science. I'm also making a ton too, trying to get maglev, or magnetic levitation, which I know it as maglev. And then we have high efficiency logistics systems. And I want to get these for the blue, man, I can't. Yeah, that's blue. The green belts, because the green belts are going to be very, very necessary for the 20 smelter arrays over here. All the iron and all the copper and stuff. I haven't completed all of this yet because, well, I got distracted and wanted to start making a lot of these cubes and stuff. So, you know, we're getting there. The copper one is almost completely built. I have to, like, redo my blueprints because, yeah, there's certain ones that are just not connected. Like here in the middle, I think there's a spot, yeah, right there. So I need to kind of redo it over here a little bit. But it's going pretty well so far. And then, like I mentioned, I'll cut to when this is all done, possibly. I mean, I'll show you guys what the green ones do eventually, but for now, we'll just cut to when I actually have this all done, hopefully enough of a power grid, because now I'm realizing we actually need to start going to thermal power plant. And you can turn coal into, well, I guess you can turn it into this stuff over here, this combustible fuel thing. It's 80%, 9.72 versus 6.75 plus 50%. So what is better? This, maybe? I mean, it seems like it's better. I don't know. I might make a huge array of these just for that, but we'll see. It just needs coal, so it's not like it's that hard to make. And there's a coal vein here, coal vein over there. There's a coal vein over there. Like, we have power. There's coal way up there. I just need to actually process it. So I might do that maybe in this area, maybe up over there. I'm not sure, but we'll cut to when I have more of a factory and not just the starter factory here. All right, putting the finishing touches on a new energy regeneration, or well, not really regeneration, generation over here, which I am using combustible fuel or units, as I just like discussed before the cut, and it just takes coal. So this 6 mining array is, well, honestly, I can probably get more out of it if I upgrade the belts, because like these last 2 aren't doing anything. But this entire thing hopefully should fix my energy issue for a little while. But it's not permanent and it's not going to be perfect. As you can see, not all of it is being used because not all the fuel is, like the whole line isn't being filled up all the time. Which is a slight problem. But, you know, at the same time, it's not too bad. We're just going to let this be, let it do its thing. If we need to expand upon it, we have 2 coal veins over there that I secured, even a 3rd one in the distance I didn't notice till just now. So I can always pump in more coal into this area if necessary. So that should fix the energy issue. Why is this not done? Somehow I don't have blue? What am I missing? Oh, I know what's going on here. This is actually a me issue. I got these green electronic turbine things going, and a lot of this stuff requires magnetic coils, which I only have 2 machines for. So what I might do in the meantime is remove that and remove that, get the science flowing again. Alternatively, can just, you know, take this and just kind of do that a little bit. Just kind of get systems kind of going for a bit. And I don't need these all on all the time. It's just nice to have because these green electromagnetic turbines are what's going to be used in making the green belts. So far, not so bad. We got a lot more foundations to work with. Not you know, the most in the world, but it's fine. The copper production area is still not hooked up. I know, I'm terrible at this. It's okay. I need to actually fix this. I'm going to fix this real quick. And I promise you, the next cut that you see is going to be me with the rest of the facility built. I want to record and show off what like the step-by-step process, but I know that at least for me, I don't want to watch every gory, detail. So I promise you, next time I'll have all this stuff done. It might take me a few hours, but we'll get this done. So be right back. All right, so as you can see, we have a lot of stuff still left to build. Now, I'll be honest, a lot of this is starting to get very tiresome. Basically, I'm doubling up over here. So I'm getting pretty tired of manually building everything. So I'm just going to have a couple of friends help me out. This is 12 more construction bots per building, and this will help build a lot faster. From what I've noticed, when you go to place down like a structure, for instance, like this, when it says lack of item, that means you can't use it or build there. But if you do this and just build, you can build it, and it's like it places it physically in the world, and then your drone just has to go over and say, job's done, and that's it. So, yeah, I've decided that I was going to build a ton of these for no other reason than to help build faster, because while I'm just messing around with these tiny little belts over here, they're building that huge factory over there. Plus, I don't have to baby it. I can just leave and set up all the belts while it does all the work. So this is the general area that we're going to be messing with. And as you can see, it's not even like a huge area of the planet. It looks massive when you're next to it like this. It's like, oh my gosh, that's huge. When you're actually zoomed out, we got all this room for activities. I can go fishing. That's not a thing in the game, but we could. There's crude oil in the middle. There's more resources we can mine. More oil up here. We're getting closer to the bases, there's all this room for activities. So, yeah, while that's kind of doing its thing over here, I'm just going to leave it and show you guys the basic process. So, first things first, we're going to move iron down over, let's see. I've got a whole bunch of other things here, but we'll try to keep it about 4 lanes for each. So, with enough room in between for logistics stuff. So, we'll say this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Say here to here roughly. Now I don't have any belts, so that's nice. Basically, this is going to be iron on this left belt. This will be copper, and then we just basically have to fill in each of these machines. So, and what I was thinking of doing too, I left a huge space in between the iron and this. This will be used for like storage. So if I wanted to have a bunch of gear stored up over here, I have a lot of room for logistics, being able to move from point A to point B, putting down storages and stuff over here, and then also basic production. So things that I use on the regular, like smelters or assembly machines, belts, sorters, splitters, all the basic things that I would use all the time, including the power lines and stuff like that, miners, maybe other extractors. I don't really feel necessary, or it doesn't feel very necessary to have water pumps and oil extractors. Oil extractors, there's only so many on your world that you can actually mine from, like, there or this area up here. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to really like mass manufacture a lot of that stuff. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. I will, however, snag some more iron over here to make some more belts. So now, in typical fashion, it is dark, and it's starting to get dark, I should say. And now it's getting harder to see. So now what we're going to do is we're basically going to, because this will be like 4 lanes of iron, so to kind of give you the basic premise of what it would look like, something like this. In order to go from over here to there, for instance, we would take a sorter, hit tab to change its orientation, and then once we get it lined up off to the side, maybe like this, we can then actually stick this into it like this, and then hit up, and then we can actually have it go over all the belts down to that belt. So now what will happen is all the iron will go into this splitter. It'll continue along the main line for other machines further on, and it'll also go over this way to all these machines, which I don't have any of the things set up on. So I need this set up, and then this, and then we just do a simple little copy paste all the way down. So this will be 10 machines, or yeah, about 10 machines of gears that are being produced. Now this is where the automation really kicks into play, because now that these guys are actually done building what they could, I'm gonna have them go over here and finish the rest of this. So put like one here, one over there, and put some power in the middle, manually build it. That way it goes faster. I'll just have these guys finish the rest of that, hopefully. Yeah, it should be fine. So then what we do from here is the gears and stuff, we can make I left a big gap in between as well. So now we can have like, this is where gears are going to go. And then, you know, electronic circuits, magnet coils, and all the other stuff. It can go down this middle area. That's the goal. So if I go out to here, maybe this one would actually go out on this side. I didn't mean to do that. Go out like this, up to there. And that's basically the formula, is rinse and repeat until we get all of this stuff set up. So allow me one more jump cut, and I'll show you guys the basic main factory. I say basic with air quotes because it's going to be massive. It's going to be huge. Also, I need to set up magnet production, and I haven't done that yet. So I will be back in a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it's been a few hours. As you can see, the in-game time is now 7 hours. Yeah, I'm just looking at my, well, efficiency of power, and it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good. So if we take a look closely at what's going on here, I mean, this is not keeping up at all. I just added in this extra little bit in the back over here. I actually ran out of, looks like these things, but I just wanted to show you guys an update. I did a lot. As you can see, our demand is 80 megawatts, give or take. So let me give you the tour. I mean, obviously we still have Old Faithful. I have not done anything for red automation yet. We'll worry about that maybe next episode. So if you're looking forward to like oil expansion and stuff, that's next time. But this time I wanted to kind of give you guys the tour. So we have a ton of our, you know, base starter stuff, you know, baby's first factories and all, nothing crazy over here. But if we go a little bit more to the east, I'll call it starter. This isn't really starter, but the yeah, it's a big chunker. The factory is growing quite big. If we look at the mini map down here too, or just like the normal like planet, this still isn't anything crazy. Like, it's still not exactly 180 or like half of the planet yet. We're getting there, but it's not there yet. All these other stuff back here, this is like future systems, so none of that is hooked up at all. But let me give you the tour. So we start off on the left side over here. If you're looking from a north perspective, you have the iron production over here. This is all from these miners, and to be honest with you, it's only this bottom array that's hooked up so far. I want to get the other ones hooked up, but not just yet. Also, I'm realizing that this needs to be upgraded, and probably that as well. So we got iron over here. Then we have magnets being made. Again, only half the system, although I could definitely double up and have both these running. We have stone production over here that goes into stone bricks over here. These stone bricks then go into the main line. All the main line, it creates a giant bus network where they basically just go into sorters and then into the proper machines. We also have copper production up over here. And then last, I decided I was going to get everything needed. So I decided, why not get silicon updated or get that in there? So there's a stone vein over here. The problem is that, well, let me show you. These are the machines that kick off. And as you can tell, it's a lot of the yellow dots mean that there's an issue. In this case, there's just no silicon ore, which you need stone to then turn into silicon ore. I think it's like a 10-to-1 or something like that. It's a lot. It's a stupid amount. So this being the only close stone vein in the area is not good. I mean, there's the other stone vein down there, but I noticed next to our power area, there's a stone vein here and two more up there. So and the third or fourth one there. So I could take all 4 of these and just belt them over and then down into the system, which I might do at some other point, but silicon's not really that much of an issue right now. I just have it just to kind of have it going in the background. So let me show you where all these materials are going to, and I do apologize about it being nighttime. I was going to film this during the day, but you know, here we are. So iron gets split off here. It gets sent over into gear production, and then that goes into its own mini bus over that direction. And then iron and copper go into electronic circuits. Then we have magnetic coils, I believe these are. They are magnets and copper, so that is being made over here. And we have motors, which is iron plates, iron gears, and magnetic coils. Then we have my mouse pad's messing with me. These are the electromagnetic turbines. They require motors and magnetic coils. This is where our silicon is going to. Microcrystalline component, which is silicon and copper. And then finally, processors, which require circuit boards and microcrystalline components. Now you might notice also on the left-hand side of all this, like the first bus here, this is all storage, and this will be storage for a good bit. So all of our basic components like iron, copper, magnet, stone, silicon, and then all the refined stuff starts here. So we have gears, circuit boards, magnetic coils, motors, the green motors, I always keep calling them, electromagnetic turbines. We have the microcrystalline components and processors. And then anything else that I make from here will just kind of continue on the second line and then go to the third line. And this space over here is reserved more for just one or so processor or assembler. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, but it would just like hand make arc smelters, more processors, belts, sorters, sorting machines, maybe even power poles and stuff like that. It doesn't need to be anything fancy or anything flashy or showy or anything like that. It just needs, you know, the basic components, which then I could always take out of the other side, which is why I left the gap. I can take iron plates off of here. I could even just sort the iron plates off the line, just put them up wherever they need to. So there's a base resource like iron, copper, any of that stuff. I just sort it off or split it off from over here on the belt and then put it somewhere over here. So that'll be the next thing I work on. But yeah, this is the starterer. That's improper. This is the start of the factory. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are interested in next. I do plan on picking up in the next episode doing oil. So if you guys are interested, like, subscribe. Sorry, I'm bad at asking for these things, but like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to. Next episode, not only are we going to do oil, we're also going to get, for the most part, red cubes going. And then from there, we'll just kind of see how things go. We might have to start getting titanium, which requires us to go off-world. But yeah, it's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot of work today. So I would appreciate a like, at the very least. Please like. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Greatly appreciate you for watching. If you guys are new around here, subscribe, like, hit the bell icon. Let me know down in the comments, like I said, what you want to see next. And yeah, till next time, stay safe, take it easy, and God bless.